خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا.
Everything will teach him something, will remind him, will teach him something, will remind him of something. He's using that. He's not letting things to just pass by without knowledge, without wisdom in it. Is there anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates without any knowledge, without any wisdom? Wisdom of everything is in everything. So as much as you are using your intelligence, which is a sign of faith, no? That's why tariqat is not for blind people, is not for people who follow things blindly. Is for people who think and who put themselves under a microscope, who analyze things. They think. This is what tariqat is. You don't just do, you think. When you're putting in that intelligence, then your faith actually increases. And you say, Allah, Allah, this is also teaching me something. This is also teaching me something. And every knowledge is not going to burden you, because it's not knowledge that does not concern you. Knowledge that doesn't concern you, it burdens you. Even if that knowledge is true. Someone tells you knowledge about someone. It's not good, but it's a knowledge about someone. Someone did this and this and this. It's not good, but it's knowledge. In Islam, it's called ghibat, because it burdens you. If you don't take lesson, don't try looking for it, but if something happens, take lesson from it. Understand why this is happening, why Allah is sending it to that person, why Allah is sending to us. What are we supposed to take? And to give thanks. Everything that we do, we need to give thanks, thankfulness. You don't really come into thankfulness when you are young. You don't. When you're young, you just expect things, just like a baby. You expect your diaper to be changed. You expect to be fed. You expect all your needs to be given to you, emotional, everything. Then later, when you start carrying those certain responsibilities, then you understand a little bit more. When you get a little bit older, when things started to go, not only when things start to go, things start to slow down and the madness of the youth start to go away, then you have time to breathe a little bit. Then you start tasting and you start giving thanks. You're not rushing through, trying to taste everything, eat everything up, gobble everything up. And you are looking at things with intelligence. One of the definitions of intelligence is looking at something in relationship to something else, and something else, and something else, and something else, and something else. Yes? When you eat one egg, and you're full up to here, you eat one egg, in relationship, that egg in relationship to your stomach, doesn't mean anything. But when your stomach is completely empty for 3 days, that one egg now, in relationship to that, it becomes something else. So, as person has more experience, not necessarily getting older, these days especially, but when they have more experience, because so many people, they're older, they don't learn from the experience too. But if you have more experience and you understand, then that time, one thing that comes to you, when you look at it properly, it starts to open and open and open. And then you say, you have to come to Shukur Ya Rabbi. You have to come to that station, Alhamdulillah Ya Rabbi. Good and bad, it has to be. It's not why is this happening to me. It's not how dare this is happening to me. You must pass from that station. And when you say why this is happening to me, not to put finger to no one else, but to ask yourself what I did wrong for something like this to happen. How I mess up. then you come to that first stage of blaming yourself. You have to go through that stage. Because if I only did this, if I sit down and think for 5 more minutes, I would not make this mistake. If I just stop myself before saying these 5 words, I would not make this mistake. So you start to see that things are in your hand to change the direction and the course of your life. This is free will. Once you understand you have free will, you cannot blame anyone. You cannot. You cannot blame Allah, because Allah is the one who gave you the free will. And Allah is saying, with that free will is that intelligence to also say that you must follow my will to make your free will to have the best potential, work the best way. It looks as if when you submit to my will, you don't have free will, but look, when you submit to my will, then you enter into my oceans. That time, the small will that you have will be a very big will. But you need to return it to its owner. But once you lay claim, you say, this is mine, and you want to use it separate from me, declaring lordship, declaring you're separate from me, declaring that you are Lord other than me, that time you're going to see disaster falling left, right, everywhere. And it's going to not work for you. So, free will is given to us. And the guidance of Allah, Ya Hadi, guidance is only coming from Allah. And Allah can give that guidance to whomever that He wants. Once you understand about the responsibility of the will, that it is good to follow the will of the one who has given you that free will, then you will understand in all its opposites the beauty and the secret. In all its contradictions, the beauty and the secret. And you will fall into shukr. Then when you look at the mountain and you say, this mountain is perfect, no man is doing to this, Allah is putting His will here, but everything is different. No 2 trees are the same, but everything is perfect growing. So now you will fall into your orbit. You'll start swimming in your own orbit, and that time your remembrance of Allah will be completely different. Inshallah, may Allah make us to come to that station. That station will bring us more taqwa. That stations will show the power of Allah. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Amen.